Hello everyone, this is Dale Cantrell with Rebekah Homeless Church. I want to make not a start your day off right, I want to make a regular sermon video today. I did this video, I did it as an audio back, I don't even know how long, it's a pretty good while back, but I want to do a video on it, my scripture is Genesis 25:27 through 34 is where I'm going to first start reading. And it said, and the boys grew, and this is about Esau, Jacob and Esau. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because she did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came in from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Children of God, we have a birthright, and I don't want to give it up for anything. What this story is about, and what I'm trying to tell you, is making permanent decisions over temporary situations. I see all along the way people making permanent decisions over temporary situations, and they get what they want. They got what they wanted, but they lost what they had. So that's what I'm trying to tell you today. Not only did this happen with Jacob and Esau, but when Judas conspired for 30 pieces of silver, let me just read it to you. Then Matthew 27:1 through 10, when morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound them, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, he repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. He didn't want it. Thought he did, but that's not what he wanted. Saying, I have sinned, and I have betrayed innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to it. And he cast down the 30 pieces of silver in the temple, and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it's not lawful for us to put them in the treasure, because it is the price of blood. And he took counsel and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in, wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. And then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom the children of Israel did value, and they gave them for the potter's field. And in Hebrews, Paul, in his writing, Hebrews 12:17 says, for you know that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. And he's talking about Jacob and Esau. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You got what you wanted. I see that so many times. People think they want a certain thing. They go after it. And then when they get it, they don't want it. As a matter of fact, they wind up despising the thing that they got in the end. I want to talk to you about the greed of man, the restlessness of man, and the dissatisfaction of man. It's true, seems like to me, of some men and women that no matter what they have, they're always looking and wanting something else. Some folks want everything they see you with. No matter what you have, they want it. They want your house. They want a different car. They want a job. I heard a story about a man. He got in contact with his realtor to sell his house, and a few days later, he called the same realtor back and said, "Hey, I found a house that just looks just like what I want. It sounds just right." And he described it to the realtor, and the realtor said, "But sir, that's your house you're selling." So it really, the grass looks greener on the other side, brothers and sisters. I'll tell you that. I've come to you today with I feel like it's an urgent message that you better keep what you got. You know what you got, but you really don't know what you're trying to get. You may get more than you bargained for, because everything that glitters is not gold. Like the song says, you can't judge a book by looking at its cover. You know, sisters, your husband may not be as handsome as you thought he was at the first, and he may not do everything just right. I understand that. He may have lost his hair but found 100 pounds. But he's good to you. You better hold on to him. Brothers, your wife might not be as slim as she was when you said "I do," or may have put on 100 pounds herself. But she keeps your house clean, and she keeps your plate full, and she keeps your children clean. So you better hang in there with her. You know, even kids, they living at home and they don't understand how things work, and they can't wait to get out on their own and get their own place, and they've got it made and don't even know it. They're getting free gas, electricity, the refrigerator's full of food. They drive a car and don't pay any insurance or gas or make the payment. Clean, fresh clothes in the closet. They've got it made and just don't know it. But one day they come in and they announce to you that they want to move. They want their own apartment where they can entertain their friends and guests. They need to know how it feels to pick up the telephone and not be able to get a dial tone. They need to know how to feel to stand in front of a refrigerator, an empty refrigerator. Some of them stand in front of a refrigerator, seem like for 15 minutes trying to decide what they're going to eat. They need to know how it feels to turn on the light and no light comes on. They need to know how it feels to turn up the thermostat when it's cold and no heat come on. Jacob was a mama's boy, and I admit it, I was a mama's boy for sure. Jacob just thought he was the greatest trickster in the world until he met up with his, I think his name was Laban, his father-in-law, and then he found out what a trickster really was. Under the Mosaic law, the eldest son got the birthright. The birthright included the succession of the official authority of the family. A double portion of the father's property also went to the firstborn. You remember the prodigal son? When a youngest son said, "Give me that portion of goods that befalls me," he got one portion, and the other portion of the three, and the oldest son got two. For it does not read the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, but Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's a terrible thing when you go to church and you can't feel the master's hand or his love, and other people are. Some folks have threw away the things that they got and they went after things but lost what they had, and they didn't even want the thing that they went after. They despised it, as I said a while ago. The children of God are the best people in the world. They'll feed you when you're hungry. You give up what you got and you just see what the world does for you. And you may be saying, this is my soul and I can do what I want to with it. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. It's just, it's just going to affect me. I'm here to tell you, friend, that it's going to touch everybody that you touch. That's who it's going to affect. Samson, he thought he wanted Delilah. He had a strength, and they wanted to know what his strength was. Satan is after you to know what your strength is. What is it you'll bargain for? Samson got what he wanted but lost what he had. David sent Uriah to the battlefront to get his wife. He got Bathsheba, but he lost his child. David got what he wanted but lost what he had. Nathan the prophet told him that the sword would never leave his house. And Judas was there when Jesus turned the water into wine. He was right there when Jesus was walking on the sea. He was there when Jesus took a schoolboy's lunch and fed 5,000 men, not counting women and children. When he healed the man at the pool. When he told the man to pick up his bed and walk. When the woman had the issue of blood. When Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. Jesus lost his best friend, his protector, his comforter, his everything. I'm telling you, if you're thinking about making a permanent decision over a temporary thing, I pray, what you do, what your decision is about anything. Is it a 5-minute decision? Is it going to affect 5 minutes? Is it a 5-hour consequence? Is it a 5-day consequence, a 5-week, 5-month, 5-year? What you're considering doing, if you are, is an eternal consequence. And I love lost people. I've got a lost son. I love them, for sure. But my heart and work is for people who's about to make these permanent decisions over temporary things. I wished I knew who you were and how to get to you. But it seemed like to me that most people, when they come to that decision, that doesn't matter what you do, but I'd like to help just one. I'd like to help more if I could. But please consider what you're doing, and consider your family, and consider your church, and consider everything else. I think this is an urgent message that I'm coming to you with because, they say most of the wrecks happen just a couple of miles from home, maybe. And you're almost home. Some of you that's going through these decision-making process right now, you're way further down than you were. And so I'm wanting you to give it some serious consideration. I love you. I've often said if I could help you, I would crawl to get to where you're at. And I sincerely mean it for this thing that we're talking about right now. I would crawl to help you. If you're somebody out there that's low spiritually or needs somebody to talk to confidentially, I would love to be able to help you. This is Dale Cantrell with the Meridian Holiness Church. My phone number is 256-508-4410. Not trying to replace your minister. I'm not trying to replace you getting to church. But right now at this very moment, today is Saturday, October 23rd, and I am still got COVID lingering, so I can't come to where you're at. But you won't catch COVID over this thing. And I'm trying to do everything I can. If it's not come to where you're at, send this to where you're at. So if you have any comments about this, let me know. If you get this and you think it might help someone else, why don't you send it to them? If you're not the recipient, the intended person, you know who it is, just send it to them. So this is coming from my heart, and maybe it's not as edifying as some of the you would typically want to do, but I want to help you. So this is Dale Cantrell with the Meridian Holiness Church, hoping this finds you well, and that the next one will find you even better. So until next time, may God richly bless you.